Hello students, welcome to another lecture of pharmaceutical jurisprudence. In our last lecture we started with the sale of drugs and we discussed about the wholesale of drugs, and today we will be starting with the retail sale of drugs. So talking about the sale of drugs, there is a proper chain wherein the drug product is transferred starting from the manufacturer to the consumer. Mainly what happens, the wholesaler purchases the drug from a manufacturer, right? And when the particular wholesaler distributes the drug to the retailer, that particular process is termed as wholesale of drugs. And further, when the retailer distributes the drug to the consumer, that particular sale is termed as retail sale of drugs, right? So today we will be discussing about the retail sale of drugs. So let's start. Now coming to the definition of retail sale of drugs, I already told you in my previous slide that retail sale means when the particular drug product is transferred from a retailer meaning the pharmacies, to the consumer. That sale is termed as retail sale of drugs. And the license for the retail sale of drugs is mainly of two types, one being general license and the other being restricted license, right? So talking about general license is mainly issued to people who have their own premises to run their pharmacies and who will distribute the drugs under the supervision of a qualified person. Qualified person means the pharmacist, right? And general license is also issued to people who are going to sell drugs which are prescription only drugs, right? And restricted license is mainly issued to those people which do not require the supervision of a qualified person, and restricted license is also issued to those people who do not have a fixed premises for the sale of drugs. Now coming to the conditions for the general license, so there are certain conditions which are to be fulfilled before the grant of license and after the license is granted, right? So the first condition is that the license which is being issued by the licensing authority, it should be open to the public so that the people purchasing your particular drugs can have a look at it. Then the licensee should comply with the provisions which are laid down in the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and its rules, and if there are any changes in the staff, then those changes should be informed to the licensing authority. Then the licensee should make sure that he is purchasing the drugs only from a licensed dealer. Licensed dealer is a person who has a proper license issued by the licensing authority. Now then, if there are any changes in the constitution of the firm, those changes should be informed to the licensing authority in writing. There are always certain guidelines for the storage of drugs, so the licensee should make sure that whichever storage conditions are mentioned for a particular drug product, he should strictly abide by those conditions. Then for the sale of any additional category of drugs meaning that the drugs apart from the drugs which are mentioned in the license at the time of issuing of license, if you want to sell some additional drugs, then you should take permission from the licensing authority before selling those particular drug products. Now talking about the restricted license, I already told you the definition. There are again certain provisions to be fulfilled to get a restricted license, and after the license is granted, you should also abide by certain rules. So the first point is that the licensee should have adequate premises for the sale of drugs. The license should be displayed in a prominent place which is open to the public. Then the drug should be purchased only from a licensed dealer. Then whichever provisions are laid down in the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and its rule, the licensee should make sure that he is complying by all the provisions. Now since the restricted license is issued to people who will not sell the drugs under the supervision of a qualified person, so the licensee should make sure that he is dealing with only those drugs which can be sold without the supervision of a qualified person, and the licensee should make sure that the drugs are sold in the original containers only. Now if a particular licensee does not abide by the rules or the provisions which are stated, then he is liable to certain penalties, right? So now we will be studying about the different offenses and their penalties, right? So the first column states the offenses. The second column stays first conviction. First conviction means that if a person does any offense for the first time. And the third column has certain penalties for subsequent conviction. Subsequent conviction means if a particular licensee or if a particular person is doing the same offense twice, thrice or more, right? So the first offense is that if a particular person is selling adulterated or spurious drugs which are not of standard quality. So for the first conviction, the person is liable to an imprisonment for a period of minimum 10 years, which can extend to life imprisonment. And talking about the fine is not less than 10 lakhs of rupees or 3 times the value of the confiscated drug, whichever is more. And talking about the subsequent conviction, the imprisonment up to a period of 10 years and a fine not less than 10,000 rupees or both. Either fine or imprisonment or both. Right? Now talking about the person selling adulterated drugs but not containing any toxic substance, or if a person is selling a particular drug product without a proper license. Right? So if a person does so for the first conviction, he is liable for an imprisonment for a period of minimum 3 years, which can extend up to 5 years, and a fine not less than 1 lakh rupees or 3 times the value of the confiscated drugs. And talking about subsequent convictions, so a person is liable for an imprisonment of up to 2 to 4 years and fine of not less than 10,000 rupees. Now the third offense being that a particular licensee or a particular person who's selling a particular drug product does not disclose the name of the manufacturer, or he does not disclose the place where the drug has been manufactured, right, or where the drug has been kept. So this is also a punishable offense, and for the first conviction the person is liable for an imprisonment up to 1 year or a fine not less than 20,000 rupees or both. For subsequent conviction, a person is liable for an imprisonment of 1 year or a fine not less than 20,000 rupees or both. Right? Now talking about not keeping proper records. So not keeping proper records is also a punishable offense. For the first conviction, the person is liable for an imprisonment of 1 year or fine not less than 20,000 rupees or both. And for subsequent conviction, the person is liable for an imprisonment of 1 year or fine not less than 20,000 rupees or both. So thank you so much, dear students. This was all in today's lecture. Today we studied about the retail sale of drugs, and in our next lecture we will be studying about the packaging and labeling of drugs. If you have any queries, any doubt in today's lecture, please feel free to ask me. I am always there to solve your queries. And thank you so much once again, dear students. Thank you.